What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's
Got a
going
new.
on?
What's going on, Charles? AB, what's going on? Where you at, Charles? Up, Charles is doing something.
Oh, okay.
Uh, how's everything with you, AB?
It's going pretty good. I guess that just got done eating dinner, so
Good for you. Good, good. Me, I just got home like a minute ago. What's this?
Yeah, I was about to ask. This is like a little early because I know because you're usually still at work.
Today I was off. I had to do a lot of errands and getting stuff prepared for my son's school clothes and everything.
Oh, yeah, back to school.
Yeah, man. Where you at, Charles?
Candy Graham from Mongo.
Woo!
There he is.
Up here. Oh,
One and only Charles Faulkner. What's up, brother?
what's up?
Uh, well,
Sad,
before we get
sad day
started,
for all the sad thing for all the Hulkamaniacs out there.
but before we get started, I did some while I was doing some shopping, and I found a bookstore. It was a feminist bookstore, and I decided to pick up some books. And since it's going into back to school, I decided to got a Bell Hooks book.
Oh wow!
So, and also I found something. I had hit BGS up on it. Men who hate women, from incels to pickup artists. The truth about extreme misogyny and how it affects us all, by Laura Bates. So
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little reading since it's back to school. So hold on. What's up, Naima?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope y'all can hear me good.
We hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Sad day for a lot of people. It's rough.
For some, it's a glorious day.
Yeah. By the way, is the author of that book called Reprobate or Lower Bait?
I'm gonna tell you what. My childhood,
Laura Bates.
our childhood
Okay,
took an
Lord.
ass kicking this. I'll tell you one thing. Our childhood took an ass kicking this week.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah,
Jordan
man.
Warner. And for some of you wrestling fans out there, if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, Ozzy Osbourne, the Road Warrior, used the intro to his song Iron Man. Just to let you know, if you was a
Black
Road
Sabbath
Warrior fan, you will appreciate Ozzy Osbourne. I know a lot of people they're not into death metal and all that, but a lot of your 80s wrestlers, a lot of their music came from metal songs that we appreciate, appreciate. So,
In fact, a lot of people don't know this, but the Road Warriors, when they were asked who were their favorite artists, they said Black Sabbath was their favorite. They grew up listening to Black Sabbath, so it was only natural that Black Sabbath, would provide them their song Road Warrior. That was a great tribute.
I'm gonna tell you this one, brother. A lot of people are gonna talk about Hogan, and there's Terry Bollea, brother. There's the character, and there's the human being. Can we separate the two? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, brother.
How many people here like the Road Warriors?
Oh yes.
I did. We all did.
Let me shut up.
Guess what? Hulk was a racist also, but
Really?
yeah, Mike Headstrand. But guess what? I am a fan of the character.
Yeah.
I could differentiate the character from the person.
Yep.
Indeed.
Which is the ultimate thing to do, brother. I'm going to tell you one thing about it, right? I think it's funny, right? That black people are mostly Christian in this country, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
The most Christian of Christians, right?
Allegedly.
But how many?
Uh,
But how many believe in forgiveness?
Oh boy.
How many believe in second chances? You know, I just saw a video where he got baptized, him and his wife.
yeah.
Would you
But the
condone
question
that, man?
is this, Charles. Has he redeemed himself?
Have
Is
you
he
given him
genuine,
an
sincere
option?
in his redemption? Yeah,
Have
give
we
him that
given him-
opportunity to.
All
Yeah.
right, hey Nima, let me ask you this,
Yes.
and I'm not trying to equate the two, but I'm just using it for argument's sake.
Mhm.
And I am not. Before I ask the question, I am not condoning. I am
Mhm.
not trying to make excuses, but this is just for argument's sake. All right.
Okay.
Malcolm X was a criminal. He was a pimp. He did a lot of
Mhm.
heinous things.
Detroit Red. Yeah.
Yep. When he was incarcerated, he turned himself around. Now, if I was an asshole, I can make the argument that, well, you know, Malcolm Little only did that because he got locked up and he probably needed protection or whatever. But he turned out to be arguably one of the most influential and remarkable human beings of the 20th century, especially in our community.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Now,
I would say this.
I know
Oh, come on, continue.
Jackass out there. Oh my God! Like, Red Pill is trying to make equate Hulk Hogan to Malcolm X. No, I'm not. You fucking.
No, he's not.
I'm doing for argument's
nobody
sake.
said that. Stop it.
Actually, we could. Because one of the most influential people in the 20th century is Hulk Hogan as well.
But
Because
as you were
it's not a
saying,
it's not a far thing, because guess what? It's just, I'm gonna give the floor right back to you, Lou.
What's up, Artisan? How you doing, brother?
good artist.
I'm gonna give the floor right back to you. How can we be a people who talk about glory, but we don't give grace? How can we be a people of majesty, but we don't give mercy? And we're not condoning somebody's actions when they're wrong, and they got to eat that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what's that whole saying? I got to scratch my bald head for a minute. He without sin, do what?
Cast the first stone.
Go ahead, Lewis. Go ahead. You want to?
Go ahead. I'm sending a link out to people.
Okay. To answer Blue's question, the point I was trying to make was, yes, you can forgive someone. Yeah. Yes, you can forgive someone.
Everybody, put the link in your rooms.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. All right. So my point is this: you can forgive someone, but you can never forget. And even if you forgive that person, has that person genuinely redeemed himself and repented? In the case of Malcolm X, Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, Allah yarhamhu. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, Muslims, when they say may they rest in peace, they say Allah yarhamhu, which means Allah have mercy on them. He did redeem himself. He turned his life around. And I would say he completely came full circle when he came back from Mecca, from Hajj and everything. I could be wrong on that one. But the point I'm trying to make is, yeah, we can forgive somebody, but you cannot forget. Especially if you forgive them, they go back and do the same thing.
Hold on, Namer. Charles, can you put the link to the StreamYard in your room in case somebody want to come up? And this is Charles' Cash App. And where's yours, AB? Or let me put it back up.
Yeah, it should be.
If you want to, donate to those brothers, please. If you have the funds.
Mm-hmm.
I tell a lot of brothers out there, you know, when a man makes a mistake, he's going to pay for it. This is the reason why I believe in penance, because everybody's going to make a mistake. Everybody's going to say something that the world's not going to like.
Right.
Here's the thing. We listen to music of drug dealers.
Yeah.
We listen to the music of drug addicts. Hell, some of your favorite stars got criminal records.
Biggie.
Let's talk about.
And one of our favorite, one of the favorite artists made a song about sleeping with his best friend's wife.
Yeah. You gotta think about it, right?
Differentiate the artist from the person.
But let's say if he was sorry about it, if it was a stupid rant, should he get beaten over the head for it? Yes. Should he repent for it? Yes. So here's my thing. You know, I had a friend of mine, she was like, "Oh, you know, he was big racist." One statement he made, he was big racist.
One statement.
You got a goddamn president.
Too.
Hold on. You got a goddamn president. You got several presidents who openly said they weren't doing shit for you and told you right in your face while he smiled. You told us you had one president who said if you didn't vote for him, you weren't black. You had one who said, "Nah, the kids shouldn't be bussed over there in that ghetto." You had other presidents who basically jailed and made it illegal to made strict restrictions to your Second Amendment rights in California, and he became a president.
You had your first black president when he was surrounded by a bunch of Africans when he made his trip to Africa. He said, "Get these niggas off of me," saying that to the Secret Service. And I'm not talking about Barack Obama. He was your second black president. We talking about Bill Clinton.
Ooh.
Arkansas.
Now, I want you to go to Pan's second statement right there. How come y'all don't applaud the men who don't do that shit? We do, but your ass ain't around. Let me put it to you this way. Did you condemn the women who danced on Kevin Samuel's grave? When he was actually rooting for those dumb bitches to be married and happy in relationships? Or did you keep silent like the good old boy that you are?
Man, it said we supposed to support everyone who's against us. That's not the context what we're talking about. Would you like to hit the link and come up?
Because we're just making a clear distinction on characters versus the real people.
Right.
I know Christopher. I know Henry.
How old are you, by chance? Pan the man. Can I ask you how old are you by chance? Because hold on, let me see. I did condemn. Huh? Oh, if you want to come up, maybe your comments is not understood in total context. If you like to come up and articulate them, you could feel free. Because we're I know me, I'm a Gen Xer. Charles and AB, if I'm correct, they're older millennials, and
so is Hammer.
Oh, all right. You're 37, so you're a younger millennial.
Yeah,
he's a core millennial.
Yeah, so you don't. You probably, we lost a lot of viewers. Oh, nice.
How so? When you talk about forgiveness, you know, It's you're right, JLJ. They danced on Kobe Bryant's grave. They danced for this shit before he was even buried.
They're still
Well, there
dancing
was
on
report,
the grave,
there was
unfortunately.
reports that they found his remains holding on to his daughter.
And with Kobe, can we be honest why they were celebrating on Kobe's grave?
Because he married
A bunch
Latina.
of black women celebrate. I mean, they were celebrating his death. They was happy that he died because they were mad that it wasn't a black woman taking control of his assets.
Yeah, but that's Brandy's fault.
Ooh.
It is. It's Brandy's fault. She the one that dumped him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
That's
She's
true.
up there because remember that he was corny.
A corny kid out of Philly.
How many languages could Kobe speak?
Spoke 3.
And it was learning others.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look what happened to Kobe. Well, look at Kobe's career compared to hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing she really did was Moesha.
But I mean, the only thing she did was become a single mom and lied about being married. Oops.
Ooh. Well.
Ooh.
I do have a lot of extra tendencies because I was born in '82. So
Yeah, you was Zennial.
It's almost no. We relate more to Gen Xers because we weren't the participation trophy. Now the '90s, later millennials, that's a different breed, there, boy.
Mm-hmm. Core millennials, later millennials. Later millennials, they relate more to Z's. We and late Gen Xers were called Zennials. Late 70s, early 80s kids were called Zennials because we're a combination of both generations, and we have those tendencies. And we remember a lot of shit that was going on in the 80s. We grew up in the shadow of a lot of turmoil, a lot of changes, the end of the Cold War, the AIDS epidemic, crack epidemic. He always kissed the crack epidemic.
Violence of the '90s.
Violence of the 90s.
The housing crash, the global war on terror.
Housing crash, global war on terror. The economic crash, '87. The oil prices going $100 a barrel. The price of grain, 9/11. Yeah.
A lot of you don't even remember 9/11. A lot of 11 affected me, and a lot differently than it affected other people because we were in service.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We look at things a wee bit differently, and it's funny because it goes back to the Hulk Hogan decision.
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate how everybody has this black woman ideal of cheating or this ideal of second chances. I'm not saying does he deserve one, doesn't he deserve one? That's for you to figure out, not me.
That's for your choice to decide.
Yeah, exactly. That was the point I'm trying to make.
I'm going to say the same thing I said to this black woman when she talks about cheating. Are you going to give your man 20 chances, or are you going to give 20 men one chance, and then you're going to get mad when you have 20 more bodies added to your belt when men talk about you got too many bodies to your belt? So what is it? We're not forgiving people because a person fucked up and made a mistake? Trust me. I bet you I can record you somehow, some way. You might say something that's potentially racist, sexist, quote unquote homophobic. So I like to tell a lot of people, we want to play holier than thou when we got a lot of fucking skeletons and cobwebs in our goddamn closets as well. Now, am we condoning this shit? No.
Hell no. Go ahead.
We can separate the character to the man, but go ahead, Liz.
No, and the reason for the stream, because when the thing happened, I was on the phone with a lot of people. Charles, you were one of them. And we were talking about the backlash out on Twitter. And, the general consensus is there's a lot of these Z's and probably younger millennials that didn't grow up watching the man, or they watched after, you know, like the Hollywood Hogan era. But if you was a Gen Xer or an older millennial, you don't understand the impact that Hulk Hogan had on, and we're going to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner too. What Hulk Hogan, the impact he had on young boys growing up during the 80s. And during the 80s, with I see Panda Man, he left, especially with the WWF at the time, wrestling, you probably don't understand the importance that wrestling had, in my opinion, on the impact of masculinity in young boys. Because wrestling with the old school formula with good guy versus bad guy, the impact that it had on it, because wrestling is basically soap opera for men. It had
pretty much
good guy versus bad guy. It taught you a lot of lessons that probably didn't know growing up watching it for the mere entertainment. But as you get older, you reflect on it. One, it teaches you the good guy doesn't always win.
Right.
Vince McMahon was very popular, you know, high up on the physical aesthetics, and we're not promoting the use of steroids, but it imprinted a lot of young boys to go to the gym back in the day. And Hulk Hogan, if you want to admit it or not, he was your role model he was one of your role models. If you was during that era and your parents had money, you had that Hulk Hogan doll that if you sling it across the room, you could kill somebody because it was pure hard rubber with an iron rod in it.
Right.
Everybody loved Mr. T, Optimus Prime, Hulk Hogan, Lionel, and He-Man. They were your John Wayne of that era, growing up in the 80s. They were your superheroes. And speaking of John Wayne was a hardcore racist, but my father used to watch it. And my father used to love to watch Westerns with John Wayne, and he knew he was a racist. He understood the person from the art form that he was, displaying. And that's what a lot of people, I guess they have a hard problem is we're talking about the character of Hulk Hogan, not Terry Bollea, the person. Because Terry Bollea, a white man who was born in 1953, he was born in Florida, which is the southernmost state on the East Coast during the 50s. Yeah, he probably said the N-word a couple of times. Just like I wouldn't be surprised if Clint Eastwood, and we all love Clint Eastwood, if you watch The Honeymooners, I bet you Jackie Gleason would have said it. And you know what? If Ed O'Neill, the 90s favorite dad, if a tape came out with Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy, if it was a tape of him saying the N-word, it wouldn't surprise me. But guess what? I love Al Bundy. I could differentiate the person from the character. What's up, ABM? And what's up, Panda Man?
What's good, man?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, I just wanted to say I totally agree with that. He was the John Wayne for us 80s babies, so to speak. When people talk about he's a racist, and obviously I'm not condoning his fuck shit and whatever, but
nobody is, because we all have brains here. Sorry to interrupt, my brother.
Nowadays you have all these podcasts and everything. In fact, most of your favorite wrestlers from the South of that day were fucking racist. Your boy, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Racist. Let me hold that point right there. Let me tell you something. If any of y'all ever heard of Cowboy Bill Watts,
Oh, Cowboy Bill Watts.
Cowboy Bill Watts, he was an old wrestler in the WWF, but he had his own territory, Mid-South.
It's
He
out
made
there.
Sylvester Ritter, a.k.a.
Dunk Wild Dog.
his biggest draw down in the Louisiana territory.
Matter of
And
fact,
also, when he was running WCW, which
Guess-
disappointed me,
guess
he
where?
made Ron Simmons the first black world heavyweight champion.
And
we
guess
call
what
it-
city? And guess what city he did it in?
Baltimore.
Goddamn right.
And what made me disappointed because WCW, a Southern Territory, the old NWA, all of us was hoping, us WWF fans, hoping that we had the first black champion in the WWF. But, you know, I am very grateful to Cowboy Bill Watts, a vehement racist, for making Ron Simmons the first black champion.
And guess what he told?
Yep.
Guess what he told him? He says, "I don't care what color you are, as long as you bring back green."
And
And go ahead, if you still on the floor, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to say, Ron Simmons didn't have to do fuck shit either.
Yeah.
Because Rock is questionably black. He's what I like to call the diet nigga, low calorie nigga that most of these white folks prefer. When Booker T got to the WWE, he couldn't be kick-ass Booker T like he was in WCW. You know, he had to start doing the goofy shit.
Well, he was a heel champion, first of all, so he had to act that way.
But we all know this is what Vince McMahon does.
Oh, of course.
He does that. Yeah, they put a strap on Booker T a few times and all that. Perfect example is how they wouldn't put him over Triple H at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
did
he
that
did
whole
some real
racist
stuff.
angle. You did that whole racist angle just to put Triple H over. How many victories at WrestleMania did Triple H really need? You
Yeah,
couldn't
look
put
what he-
Booker T over.
Look what he did to Sting.
Yeah.
So you know, at least say what you want to say about Bill Watts and WCW. At least Ron Simmons was still big, strong, kick-ass Ron Simmons, and they didn't have to come up with some weird, goofy, freaking angle for him.
At least when he went over there, they made him the goddamn blackest thing next to Farrakhan.
Oh
He
yeah.
was the greatest
he was
angles
so
ever.
convinced.
Also, it should be
He was so convincing that actually a FOI meeting was in the hotel he was staying. And he was so convincing in that role, they asked him to speak.
Yeah, and it was a damn shame that they never put a strap on him as the leader of the nation.
And they should have, because that would have been badass.
Even if they would have put the IC belt on him.
Yeah,
It's no excuse. He should have had a run somewhere.
He should have had you got a former world champion, a former respected world champion, a college Hall of Fame player. And trust me, the college Hall of Fame is very difficult to get in, by the way. It's even more difficult than the pros. You telling me
At the position of nose tackle.
exactly. And you telling me, trust me, there's a video I'm gonna post of Ron Simmons when he was younger. In his early 20s to teens, that motherfucker was built like a comic book character. You're telling me you didn't put the world title on this motherfucker when he played such a convincing role as a black nationalist, and it made you and what he was saying wasn't wrong. It kind of made me proud to be black.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never seen that character in pro wrestling before, ever.
And bring your ass up here, Bay.
Even Bad News Brown.
Oh.
Even Bad News Brown wasn't as hardcore as Nation of Domination Farouk.
Oh, he was hardcore.
And Bad News Brown was probably the meanest, blackest fucking wrestler coming out in the 80s.
So you know,
I don't think nobody was blacker than him.
He was a bronze medalist in judo.
A lot
Maybe
of
Mr. Hughes.
Olympic bro.
How about
He's a
Butch
bronze
Reed?
medalist in judo. That motherfucker scared the shit out of Andre the Giant.
Well,
I mean,
he
you didn't
scared
want
Hulk
to say. I mean,
Hogan.
one thing
Remember
Yeah.
the rumor that Hulk Hogan had that allegedly they was going to put the title on Bad News when he came from Japan to the WWF,
Mhm.
and Hogan squashed it because it was supposed to be some rumor that Japan was had a bounty on Hulk Hogan, and Bad News Brown took the bounty allegedly.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon was thinking about putting the strap on Bad News.
He was believable.
And that's the thing I just want to bring up there. And that's the thing where there people forget. And I remember, thank you, Jim Cornette, for mentioning this. Even Jesse Ventura has mentioned this. When it came to locker room politics, Hulk Hogan was the biggest stooge out there. He was a stooge for Vince McMahon. And he wanted to protect his spot at all costs. That means he had to, screw
He
some
was
people over.
very ruthless. With his
He had to be.
Well, first of all,
With his brand and everything?
they were independent contractors,
Yes.
and I'm not a wrestler. I've never been a professional wrestler, but we could say I used to watch a lot of shoot interviews, and a lot of old school wrestlers. One of the reasons they were bitter because they left the WWF at the time, it wasn't because of the spot. It was because of the money they were making from merchandise
Yes.
and at the shows. And because Hulk Hogan was champion, they were fighting to be on that card. And to be honest, as taking a step back, everybody agreed, Hulk Hogan, the Golden Goose, should be champion because he is the biggest draw of all time. And people made a lot of money with Hulk Hogan being champion. They just wanted to be on the card chasing the belt.
Because you made money with
Let's
him.
be real. Let's be real. There's very few people in the business that won't say something bad about Hogan. If you notice, Hogan fucked over everybody he ever had to work with.
Yeah. Including the Undertaker. He talks about that all the time.
I mean, Hulk Hogan, for all intents and purposes, is a piece of shit. The character Hulk Hogan is one thing, but the actual guy is a piece of shit.
Terry
Terry
Bollea.
Bollea.
He's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. Can I
Always
actually-
has been.
If you was in this position, would you do the same thing?
Absolutely, because when you talk to the older guys, that's what they tell you.
Mhm. Everybody was ruthless back then, man. It was a whole lot of, in the territory days, everybody was looking to find a way to make extra money here and
Yes.
there and trying to get to the top spot because, and also let's not forget about this. Back in the day, you had a whole lot of racism, especially in the Southern territories. And if you were a black star, you felt threatened when another brother came into the territory because you thought that man was there to take your spot.
Dick Murdoch was an actual Klan member.
Yeah, Dick Murdoch was a Klan member. Yep.
brothers. He wasn't the only one.
Because he actually, there was a story when he was like, oh my God. When he took fucking Dusty Rhodes to a Klan meeting, he like, what the hell you taking me here for? Like, oh no. I said, you gotta think Dick Murdoch was a staunch racist. But guess what? Dick Murdoch is not above making money.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you, it's like this. Let's stop beating around the bush. Most of you motherfuckers who are too young to remember didn't experience the testosterone 80s, as I like to call them, where you sat on your dad. Most of you fucking
Go ahead, say it.
Let's say it. most of you furries who love your participation trophies didn't have the opportunity to sit on your daddy's lap watching Rambo First Blood, taking a sip of his beer, and he told you, don't tell your mother.
I watched it without having to do the beer sipping, but okay.
So, you got to understand something. For a kid to look at a guy with bulging muscles saying, say your prayers, do your workouts, and take your vitamins.
Take your vitamins.
When you got to think about it, you later millennials and Zs, your greatest cartoon heroes were not even your heroes, because if you count Justice League, those are ours, if not my father's. My favorite heroes had the moniker of Lord of the Thundercats. I rule every goddamn anthropomorphic cat in the world or the universe. One of my favorite characters' moniker is what? The most powerful man in the universe. If you really think about that in esoteric knowledge, that is a hell of a statement to make, is it not? What's another one? You got Brave Star.
You got
Wait,
Visionaries.
Charles. You said esoteric, right?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by esoteric?
Secret knowledge that most people don't know nor comprehend.
And what did Lionel represent?
They represented the king, and also when he had the sword, he represented the all-seeing eye.
Which is
the eye of Ra.
Okay.
AKA the pineal gland in your brain, which is a third eye.
Wait, hold up.
And what did he say when he wanted to use that knowledge? Sword of Omens. Yep.
The complete gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. If only Sandog was here, because he'd be put me on blast right now because of my ancestors. Egypt.
Yep.
All right.
You're right, they drew First Blood, not me. And you know what's funny? When I looked at First Blood coming home from the war, I was like, "Oh my god, I completely get it now."
The PTSD, the breakdown at the end.
He broke down. If you read the book, a lot of his friends, it was only like 2 made it back home. It was a black guy. Remember First Blood? It was the black guy. He went to the mom. And it showed you one thing very important. Very important that in those 80s movies did. If you notice, Rambo's team was multicultural.
Do you remember, Charles?
And Charles, who was the first person? Hold on. Who was the first person that Rambo wanted to see?
His friend that was black, and he found out he was dead.
Elmo.
From cancer, from Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, he died the summer before.
Think about that.
And he was devastated because he was all alone after that.
Yeah, you got to think of shout out to Sylvester Stallone for playing that role beautifully. You can see it on his face. And that's the thing that I will say about the 80s that nobody gets. That if we would have kept the level of masculinity that we had in the 80s, a lot of this so-called wokeism and racism shit that you see would not exist. Because guess what? When you fight a war with somebody, that guy becomes your brother. It's hard to deny.
There's a poem that comes to mind. Yeah. There's a poem that comes to mind about that, but I can't remember it. But one thing I remember from First Blood, he's stuck in the mine shaft, right? And the National Guard are trying to, contact him because they know he had a radio. he ignored it the whole time. It wasn't until his commanding officer, forgot the actor's name. I forgot the actor's name that played Samuel Troutman, Colonel Samuel Troutman. When he contacted him, he put out the roll call. And what was Rambo's first answer when he gave that roll call? He said, "They're all gone, Sarge. It's just me. It's just me." And then in the end of the movie, at the police station, when he said, "It's over, Johnny, it's over," he's like, "It's not over for me." And that's when he finally came to terms with everything. The PTSD. You basically, you're at your breaking point.
But you got to remember, the same thing we saw in the 80s was this masculinity. Little boys, you got to remember, this was the start of the single mother holding epidemic.
You got to go further back with that one. Since the 70s.
This was the start.
Oh,
because even at the 70s, we were still married at 80% at the lowest and 90% to the highest.
Right.
We were the most married people in America. So single motherhood was extremely rare. This was the start of the epidemic. Imagine
all right with the divorce rates.
Imagine that's if they even got married. I want you to think about it. You're a little boy in West Bumfuck, Kentucky, in a trailer park. You're a little black boy in East Baltimore in some fucking ghetto. But you all can relate to Hulk Hogan at some point, right?
Yeah.
You didn't think about it. For 3 hours for a fucking show, all the problems of the world were gone. All the racism, all the poverty, all the joblessness. 3 hours you made people forget their worries. You made little boys you made little boys forget their woes. You even encouraged little boys to say, "Hey, be strong." But look what we get now. We get a former sitting president to say you should have a gay friend. Y'all don't say shit about that, do you? The same people, y'all don't condemn the statement of Obama. But let's take in context.
You had Hulk Hogan telling little kids to say their prayers and take their vitamins. Now you have safe spaces and fat shaming. This is where we're at today.
Think about
Who remembers as a kid you had Flintstone chewables?
Yeah.
They said, say your prayers, say your prayers and take your vitamins.
Wait a minute. Excuse me, Namer. Excuse me.
Vitamin.
Remember, God is dumb now. God is bad. God is dumb. Religion is dumb.
Allegedly.
Right? You can't say these things today. That's offensive.
I want you to think about this, right? Being a little boy. And I'm using real life scenarios from my actual life. You're 4, 5, 6 years old, scared. But you remember, hey, what did that wrestler do when there was 3 guys beating him up? He might have won, he might not have won, but he stood his ground. Or he got smarter and got his payback later.
Yeah.
Speaking of superheroes, is Superman the type of guy, if he lost his powers, will he still get in that damn suit and stand in front of somebody with a gun to make sure nobody else behind him gets shot? Is that his character? Fellas, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
What does that teach a man about masculinity? I gotta do it even when I'm not at 100%. I gotta do it when there's nobody watching. When I'm not gonna get praise, when I'm not gonna get money, when I'm not even gonna be acknowledged.
It's about doing the right thing.
Think about it.
It's
one
about
of the most heroic
knowing right from wrong.
The most heroic thing you ever seen in media, believe it or not, was Kermit the Frog. You may laugh a little bit, but this is one of the most heroic things you ever seen. I forget which Muffin movie it was when he was the sheriff. And he said, if you meet me behind there, I'm going to kill you. What did Kermit do?
He showed
up.
Mm-hmm.
Was he afraid? Goddamn, yes, he was afraid. But what was the most important thing he had to do? He had to be a man. He had to be brave, despite insurmountable odds against him. He had to be brave. How many little boys, especially, could look at that and say, I gotta be brave too, at some point in my life?
Plenty. How many actually do? And then, who remembers all those spaghetti westerns by Clint Eastwood? And he had to show up for a showdown.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? Overcoming the odds and always knowing that you also have friends, because even when Hulkamania had to fight everything on his own, he always had some backup.
Yep.
Whether it was in the form of Junkyard Dog, Jimmy the Superfly Snuka, what's his name? Ken Patera, after he got kicked out of the Heenan family.
Macho Man,
until things went south.
Ultimate Warrior.
Sid Justice, but that's in the early 90s.
Sid Vicious.
So Sid. No, he was known as Sid Justice in WWE.
WWF, it was Sid Justice.
Yeah.
How about
May
this
he rest
one?
in peace as well. Go ahead.
How about this one? Embracing being the bad guy. The greatest heel turn ever.
Yes.
Hollywood Hogan.
Oh yes, when he dropped that leg on Savage, that was the greatest heel turn ever.
He went from the red and yellow to the black and white.
That was the greatest.
And he gave the thumbs up to Holland Nash.
And nobody seen it coming.
Embrace being the fucking bad guy. Embrace being the villain.
And
which is what we say in this space.
And that's something that men may have to do, which you will. Yes. Because your opinion, or you have facts that you've proven, may be so apprehensive to someone's hearing that you're going to have to, like when I told this chick, most black men, these black men have all these babies. Most black men don't have babies. I don't believe it. I said, go research it. Go look it up. Well, I'm not going to research it, but I don't believe it. I said, but you got 6 kids, but you don't believe it. Okay. You got 6 kids by 5 different dudes. If those dudes have no more children, they got 1. You got 6. Get the fuck out of here.
And it's actually went up since Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels was doing this thing, it was 51%. Now it's 55% black men single and childless.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's how low they think of you. Like, we're just baby makers. Even though if a black woman has 2 kids, there's a 70% chance they're by 2 or more men.
Hey, Charles. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
To go on a little segue. Do you think these women will appreciate a Malcolm Jamal Warner?
No. Do you know Michael Jamal Warner?
May he rest in power.
May he rest in peace, paradise, and power. Do you know that he has a Grammy with him and Layla Hathaway?
Yeah. Oh.
Did you know that he also has an Oscar, an Emmy? So you're telling me, see, I'm going to say this and somebody hit me with the big boot and the big leg drop from the ropes, the Hulk Buster leg drop, if I'm wrong. I'm starting to think black women do not like successful men, regardless of what they tell you.
Does the word resentment come to mind?
You got chicks who are married to presidents, and you had to acquiesce to that man when he stepped on that stage and say he was a damn good father and he did stuff that I couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
He was the
behind
one
his
who
back.
he was, but behind his back, you gonna twist that goddamn K-bar. But guess what? You knew when to act right when the man was on stage, because you know goddamn well if he would have pulled the big joke and said, who trained Malia to sleep overnight?
First of
But
all,
to answer your question,
I would say. Go ahead.
But to answer your question fully, no, they would not appreciate him because they would look at him as corny. Especially look at the character Theo, who lived in a fucking brownstone in New York in the 80s with his sisters and his two successful parents.
Mm-hmm.
In an affluent neighborhood. In NYC.
So you're telling me they would be trying to look down upon him when he outranks them vastly. But, somebody else could answer that question if they like.
Let me put it this way. When you think of a character like Theo Huxtable, who they look at him as basically a more masculine version of who they think is like a lame, would be like a Steve Urkel or a Carlton Banks.
Hold on 1 minute, Namer. AB Charles,
Okay.
Can y'all please put y'all cash apps in the chat so I could post them? I appreciate it.
Okay.
Go ahead, finish, Namer.
Yeah. To what Mr. said, yeah, the Gordon Gartrell shirt. Thank you, Denise, for that one. The way you designed it. But like I said, when you tell them, like, when they think of a lame, usually they view those guys, successful guys, the same way they would look at Steve Urkel or Carlton Banks. They cannot, and they refuse to comprehend that
They can't because y'all
because they outrank them. Yet they look at that person as beneath them, no matter what. So you have to leave them be. You can't. It's like Project Pat said: don't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. Leave them be, because all they have for you is contempt and resentment. So go ahead.
1 in 3 men in America that take a paternity test find out the kid ain't theirs.
Yep.
Shit.
70% in Jamaica.
Yeah.
70% Jamaica.
Yes.
Their
That's
blood
a
clot.
fucking problem. Yeah.
can't trust them bitches. When Art News Style, shout out to Art.
Mm-hmm.
This last Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
My godson was sitting in the car with me when I was smoking a cigar. He's 18. And he looked at that pop the balloon shit and he said, "I'm glad you're in my life." Because I would have been nose open. And he's like, "Yo, these bitches ain't shit." This guy has written 2 books, has a trucking logistics company. This motherfucker said, "My goal by 2016 is to visit 5 countries." Educated brother, self-made man.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that you think these women want, they rebuked him in the name of light-skinned Jesus with good hair and hips.
Well, not only that, Charles, it should be pointed out, all of them could be considered leftovers in other countries. Just saying.
Yeah, they were left. Not only they were leftovers, the average age there was 35. One was 39, and they said at 44 he's too old. Like, can you still produce children? Bitch, I'm not a woman.
No, you are a high-risk pregnancy. That is what you are.
She tried to be like, "Well, you didn't have any scares, or did you get anybody?" Bitch, I can be 1,000 years old. As long as I'm living, them nuts are still pumping sperm.
And this is the so-called most educated group.
And you didn't know because they're
at 37. At 37, you're concerned that a 44-year-old is too old. I mean, they still act like they're fucking kids.
And you know what's worse about that ABM? They think we have the same biology, the same physiology.
No, you don't.
The most educated group.
This is the most diseducated or miseducated group. I will agree.
And what was crazy is when the chick said, like in a kind of like sarcastic, backhanded way, "Yeah, you read books on vacation."
And
again, the most educated group.
He
But you
educated
look
men.
down on a man for reading books, and then she tried to clean it up. Well, I love books. Well, then what's the problem with somebody reading one?
Exactly.
I'm going to mention two things here,
man.
Yeah, I'm going to mention two things here, and it's relevant. What's his name? Raekwon the Chef. He put out a new album recently. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I got a notification. Anyway, Raekwon the Chef, he put out a new album recently. It's called The Emperor's New Clothes. And he explained the meaning of the title. Because y'all remember the story of The Emperor's New Clothes, right? Y'all remember that story?
Please elaborate.
Yeah.
Looks like he got a ball naked.
Excuse me?
He was ass naked.
Yeah, he was, except for his drawers. Well, unfortunately, a lot of these women are just like that. The emperor, they do not want to admit that they've been duped, and they wear nothing. So they showing their whole ass and telling you to kiss it because that's what they think of everybody, and they don't care. They're gonna be as reckless, as unproductive, and as dysfunctional as they want to be. Secondly, like what you said about they think we have the same physiology or whatnot. No, you don't. Patrice O'Neal once said this. He said, women downplay and disregard how much thought process, how much planning a lot of guys will put in to get some. You have men who will even open a book on gynecology to understand how the female anatomy works. How many women are willing to open up a book on andrology and understand how the male anatomy works? Not that many. They only bother to learn when it's in their best interest to do so. And oftentimes they're very short-sighted in their thinking. And they'd rather live a beautiful life than to deal with the ugly truth. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Fortunately or unfortunately, they don't care. But yeah, that's how I think about it. Oh, by the way, Charles, since we were talking about masculinity and everything, growing up in the 80s, and Rambo was brought up, I remember as a kid, this was 4th of July, 1987, 4th of July weekend, in Landover, Maryland, at the Capitol building, there was a benefit concert that they broadcast on HBO for Vietnam veterans. And there you had a lot of people, you had a lot of musicians who are the past and at that time present, they were all performing and whatnot. And there were also certain vets who talked about what they went through. Because most of the audience were vets and they all related to a lot of the things. And I remember watching that, and when I was young, I didn't understand it. But when I watched it later as an adult, I realized, oh, wow. Because you understand the difficulties of what a lot of men had to go through. What it meant to be a man, a soldier, committed to duty, even though you didn't understand what you were doing. I don't know. I forgot the name of that benefit concert, but if I can find it, I'll try to send you a link to it sometime, right? Yeah, mic drop indeed. Anybody get quiet?
No, we hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done anyway. Like I said, I'll find the link. But anyway, the floor is anybody's.
Let me be an asshole for a minute.
Go ahead.
Oh, don't let me stop you.
Is it more important of what Terry Bollea said during the tape discussion where he didn't know he was taped?
Yeah.
Or was it more important to the message he told little boys in the 80s and 90s? That's the question I
latter.
want to ask the chat, and I want to ask the panel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Which
more
one?
getting in the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Did more kids find success listening to Hulk Hogan or listening to a taped conversation with Terry Bollea?
That's supposed to have been private, but we're not making no excuses for that.
Right.
But and did anybody hear the context of what the discussion was really?
Yeah, apparently
Who was
his
daughter
daughter was
was dating?
Go ahead.
No. And let's be for real. Any of the brothers out here that have dated a Becky?
Ooh.
Now, how do you think, for the most part, how her father would have said? Not making no excuses now, but
Yeah.
There was a situation where I did get involved with a Becky. Not only did I meet the father, but I also met her paternal grandparents.
I beg your pardon.
Not only did I meet the father, but I also met the grandparents.
You know you get 5,000 lashes for that, Neymar.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Umar Johnson. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but then again, me being what I am and coming from where I'm come from, he probably look at me like, make it 1,000. So I'd be like, you know what? Hell, make it 1,500, make it 2,000. He didn't even question my blackness because of my ancestry, but that's neither here or there.
I
So,
beg your pardon.
but anyway,
They're gonna no.
I would
They're gonna
say,
question you. They're gonna question you because we urban niggas and you a sand nigga.
yeah, well, my distant ancestors would have been categorized as sand, So yeah, you got me there.
You can tell that he didn't want to laugh at first. Like he was caught. He tried to keep his composure because he wasn't expecting that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Charles knows how to kill me, man. You know what? I would say I would blame Charles for a few things. Like, for example, the reason why I got 6-pack abs.
Charles,
go ahead, sorry.
Maybe drop your Cash App again.
Oh,
if you got some funds, please support these brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, please support a like.
Please support a like. Don't forget to hit up our boy Lewis as well. Give us his idea to come up with the show in the first place. I just gave him the title. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
But I'm just gonna tell you this real quick. People will not look at the messenger fondly enough to say, you know what? I don't agree with every action, which you should never agree with everybody's action. Be a man or woman about yourself.
Exactly.
But be smart enough to say, when this person has a good idea, we running with that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You have obesity rates through the roof for children. You didn't see too many obese children in the 80s. It was weird.
Only if they had thyroid problems for the most part.
Yeah.
Thyroid, or maybe they were born with
a gland problem.
They were diabetic. Like gland problems, or they were what's that shit?
What do you mean?
The first
Describe it.
The diabetes.
Type 1 diabetes? Childhood diabetes?
Type 1.
Yeah, that's type 1.
Yeah, type 1.
Means your pancreas, your pancreas doesn't produce insulin.
Yeah, like Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have that. You had guys like Mr. T. It's like I was telling Lewis in the phone call. Mm-hmm. You know, Mr. T was so fucking popular that white boys were dressing like him.
I pity the fool.
White boy said this guy was one of the examples of manliness we want to dress up as. You didn't have anybody.
Hey, Charles, hold on 1 second. Little context. Mr. T in the early 80s was the biggest TV stars at his time.
Yeah. And you got to remember,
Clubber Lang.
He was a legit bodyguard for Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
A legit
He started out as a bouncer.
Yeah, he was a bouncer, and he was a bodyguard, executive protection for guys like Ali and others.
In Chicago. Oh, wait, here's another example of a black man who was of masculinity we forget about. One of the greatest Mr. Olympians in bodybuilding, Lee Haney. Y'all remember him?
No.
8-time
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Olympia. 8-time Mr. Olympia.
Eight consecutive Mr. Olympias. He won it 8 consecutive times.
Okay.
You know? Because remember, a lot of people, you know, they were inspired also by Arnold Schwarzenegger. They also watched, you know, Sly Stallone from Came to Fitness and whatnot. But when they heard about bodybuilding, one of the biggest names was, in the 80s, was Lee Haney. And he opened the door, and, you know, that he inspired another generation of guys like Ronnie Coleman, Flex Wheeler, and everyone. And guys wanted to be like those athletes. But, what's Mr. Mister saying here? Hey, it's Snowman. Welcome back. He said, I have learned one of the white guy's deepest fears is have a black man drop some dark D and their daughters, sisters, mothers. That's true. True. Hey, Snowman. How you been?
I am exhausted. Had the game.
That was a what?
And they did good. In the second half, they did good. I just figured I'd pop in here for a few minutes.
All right. Hey, relax. Hey, rest up your feet. We're just having quite a conversation about, you know, professional wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says. Hogan's the reason I got into wrestling, into watching.
Mm-hmm.
He was my original wrestling hero.
Yes.
I don't care I don't give a fuck what anybody says or how they say it. The first 2 wrestlers that I got hooked on were Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Now one of those heroes is gone. Say what the fuck you want, what he did later, about what happened to him later in his life. You can't argue the fact that he put the WWF on the map.
There's no argument.
He and Vince McMahon.
And, you know, Snowman, a lot of people try to say that, you know, Hulk Hogan can't wrestle. I know, watch his Japanese stuff, but my response is actually 2 words. Hulk up. You're lying. If you ever watch wrestling, you're lying to yourself if you didn't enjoy every time Hulk Hogan hulked up.
Mm-hmm. I got a 3-letter response to those who say Hulk Hogan can't wrestle. I got 3 letters for you. AWA. Because there's a legendary
over in Minnesota.
Because there's a legendary match that he had against the one and only Nick Bockwinkel.
Mm-hmm.
That got his push started. It got his push started in 1981. I believe that was the year. And then 3 years later, he made his mark in Madison Square Garden the day after the Super Bowl in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He beat the Sheik to win the title for the first time.
Yep.
The Iron Sheik, baby. Sheiky, baby.
He got out of the camel clutch, rammed
Mm-hmm.
the Sheik into the corner, gave him the leg drop, and that's when Hulkamania was born. Madison Square Garden, January 23rd, 1984.
Uh-huh. Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world.
World's most famous arena. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to crash. because I got an early start tomorrow to introduce someone else's stream, and I got a goal tomorrow to get $1,000 during my baseball game with the A's and the Astros. Oh, I'm gonna need a lot of rest. So I'm out of here.
Bye bye. Say hi to our favorite sister-in-law.
Will do. Dr. Faulkner, salute to you, brother. Salute to everybody here in the chat and on the panel. I will see you guys.
Night night. Night night. Charles, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but when we were talking about 80s masculinity, I had mentioned also besides Mr. T, when we thought about black men and masculinity, another name that came to mind was Lee Haney, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time.
The greatest bodybuilder of all time. The greatest.
Eight time.
Better than Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Better than Arnold.
Have you seen what he looks like now in retirement? He looks great.
He still looks great. No surgeries, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. Here's another thing of black masculinity you hardly ever get mentioned in the 80s. A man called Hulk, anybody?
Yeah.
Think about that. Well, it took black masculinity to save the comic book industry.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to stay on subject. Was it more important for him to produce masculine models to young boys, or do you care what Terry Bollea said in a private conversation? Let me ask you this question. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of the panel and the chat have sisters?
Me.
I do.
Did your father ever said when she wanted to date some hoodlum, if you gonna date a nigga, you gonna date at least a nigga with some money?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Richard Pryor's a good night kiss.
What did Terry Bollea say to his daughter?
If you gonna date a nigga, it better be a nigga with some money.
So let's take that in retrospect, right? Let's take that in retrospect, right?
Oh shit!
Let's really break this shit down, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you motherfuckers in the chat have daughters? What would you say to your daughter when she want to date the neighborhood thug? Am I making sense here?
No.
Am I making sense here? Are we copying, or do we got to hold the message?
Wait. Speaking of that, Charles, remember the Cosby Show episode? What was the doctor? The one that he looked at Lane, and they were making fun of his engagement ring. But when the father found out that he owned a bunch of land and everything, the one with the curly hair.
Sandra?
No, when she got engaged, and it was at the dinner table. I forgot the guy's name. They didn't really approve of him at first. Melvin,
you talking
right?
about Melvin?
Yeah.
Melvin.
But when they found out that he owned a plot of land and everything, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Resources. Elvin.
And he gave them twin grandchildren. Elvin. Oh, Elvin, okay. Was it Elvin or Alvin? Go ahead, Charles.
But would you say the same shit to your daughter if she wants to date somebody who's a thug association?
If you're from the hood, yeah, let's be for real.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
Would
got
you
money?
say the same shit from your daughter Or you're really mad because it was a white guy saying the same thing your black ass would. Just
And if
saying.
you and if you
Super,
want,
just saying.
or if you're one of these soft milk toast motherfuckers, you're just mad because he was at the Trump inauguration, at the endorsing Trump at the Republican convention.
I mean, I just want to know for inquiring minds, people. Because, you know, a concerned father is going to be very concerned about who is doing the dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows if she gets pregnant and the nigga not worth shit, who got to take care of that baby?
Mm-hmm.
Him,
He does.
he does, because that's now going to be his grandchild.
And how many times is the grandparent really taking care of the children?
Shit. Shit.
So, does one comment disqualify everything in book of work that a man does? Is the ultimate question we're going to ask.
No.
No.
What if it was a mistake? What if he is racist? Did he do more good in a community that was suffering from single motherism? What's that old song we forgot in the 80s? You take the good, you take the bad, and then you have what? The facts of life.
The facts of life.
But I always ask
We
this question
forget.
to women who are Christian. I always ask this question to a lot of women when I point out. Will you give one man 20 chances, or will you give one chance to 20 men? Because this is the same scenario.
Charles, look at it this way. We live in a time when they want context to be irrelevant. But we cannot live in that world. We cannot live in a world of ambiguity. There has to be context, there's got to be parameters, and along with the context, we have to also understand not everything's black and white. There's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of gray area. No one wants to see that. They want to live in absolutes. And I'm like, but you're not that type of person. You want to live in absolutes until it's your ass on the line. Then you want to bring in nuance. Floor is everybody's.
Got lost the quiet there for a minute.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, I was checking. I just saw Kimberly Nicole Foster's on Clubhouse.
Oh.
Oh, the
yeah.
Sanders on Clubhouse, huh?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
How active are they nowadays on Clubhouse?
What you mean?
How active are they on Clubhouse?
Kimberly's on every day, but they're smart to be in rooms that you can't have the replay on. So you got to catch them and record it through your phone. But
what does Bowser have to add? I wonder. Anyway.
Yeah, like when they were talking shit about Dr. Tommy Curry, but I digress.
But like I said, we need context and nuance. And I would say this about that video, about when that video was put out. Everybody was upset about, I can't believe Hogan, I can't believe Terry Bollea would say some shit like that. But I'm like, when you look at the circumstances of how that clip was released, remember this came out like what, around the same time, just sometime after what happened with Donald Sterling?
But you know what's funny? They were more concerned about him saying the N-word, but they weren't concerned about him fucking his best friend's wife.
And that guy was also, and Bubba the Love Sponge. Now that was a guy.
Yeah.
He was like releasing that clip to Gawker. It was because remember it was Gawker who put it out, and when Hogan decided to sue them,
and the guy, the husband, he was into that shit, that wife swapping shit.
Oh yeah, swinger. Yeah,
he was a swinger. And has anybody seen a documentary called "Right to Speak"?
No.
It's a documentary about freedom of speech and journalism, and it was on Netflix. And they talked about Hulk Hogan versus Gawker. In that documentary, they talked about what happened. All the stories surrounding, the Gawker releasing the video, the secret recording of Hogan, saying what he said with that pillow talk. And you realize, when Hogan decided to sue, the person who helped him and picked up and covered the legal fees was Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel had it into Gawker because they outed him. And then the rest is history.
All right, I got a question. Anybody know who Peter Cullen is?
Peter Cullen.
Fireball to the spine.
Know who he is. But
Fireball to the spine.
Yep.
Leader of the audience. Ticker of Megatron's ads.
And Peter Cullen is old as hell. White man.
He's like in the mid-80s.
Will you stop watching Transformers if you find out Peter Cullen said the N-word?
Goddamn. Might be happy to hear it. I would have heard it in Optimus Prime voice.
Oh, yeah.
These niggas in the Decepticons are gonna get ran on. Spin the block, double D. Spin the block. What are we doing after this time? Spinning the block on Decepticon niggas. Brace yourself, fool. I want to hear that in Peter Cullen's voice.
Yo. Just to go off a little bit topic on that.
I want to hear.
I want
to hear Angry Rant and Optimus Prime voice. I'm sorry.
Shit, let's hear all the Decepticons that everybody starts, talking foul and everything. Just cussing and shit.
Who are you, Megatron, leader of the motherfucking Decepticon?
You know what? No, wait. What if you had Megatron cussing like Samuel L. Jackson or Bernie Mac?
I'm tired of these goddamn Autobots on this motherfucking plane. Goddamn. Goddamn. But I'm going to tell you once again, is it the body of work, or we're just going to paint every goddamn person we see as an evil person? What happened to people who were slave owners and they freed their slaves? Did they have a change of mind, a change of heart, change of spirit?
What was the motives for them releasing the slaves?
Just give you your freedom. Do you really care about the motives, or you free?
You're free. I get fair enough.
Because really, if it was economic, spiritual, heartfelt, the fact that I got your wife pregnant and I want you to take care of the baby, I mean, you're free. Think about it.
Yeah.
How many times in the black community, you with a black chick, she takes care of you, but she calls the police because she want to keep you tamped down and in control? That she comes bail you out. Does that mean she really got your best interest? Or she wants to protect her investment?
Protect your investment. Who remembers Dr. Seuss's controversy? Who remembers the Dr. Seuss controversy?
He drew a lot of racist. He drew a lot of racist comics.
Are we gonna stop watching Tom and Jerry because of some of the old cartoons has a lot of racist shit in there? Like the mammy, the old mammy, Thomas. Or like, when sometimes, when somebody got hit with a dynamite and then you see them, they look like somebody in blackface.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand what was funny back then was meant for that time. Just like this. Eddie Murphy with his 2 comedy specials, Delirious in 83 and then Raw in 87. He can't use any anti-Elizabeth terms now. He can't be dropping F-bombs anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He can't he can't use certain jokes. Like, talking about fat people or making jokes about, what's his name? James Brown, or making a joke about Stevie Wonder. People would be like, hey, that's disability shaming right there. I mean, Bernie Mac, he would get him canceled if you try to have a show, try to do it like stand up like now.
Mm-hmm.
Or late night. Late night, a lot of them have been canceled. So, it was good, man. But like I said, we're so caught up in like certain things they've done in the past. Or what's his name? Forgot the name of the author. Do you guys remember a book called James and the Giant Peach?
No.
Oh, okay, it was a British author, World War II veteran, but he had like right-wing beliefs.
But you got to remember, look at James Bond, Sean Connery.
Right.
Did he backstep with Barbara Walters when he had another interview with her? Do you still believe in hitting a woman? Yes, I just do. But he said it in context. He's not a woman beater.
No.
He said in context that she was getting hysterical. I don't see why you can't slap her back to her senses. It's basically, there's no different if you're dealing with somebody who's going crazy and you slap the shit out of them to get them back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he beats women. But nobody ever talked about Nobody ever talk about the misandry of men, do they? It's always, if you notice about news now, long are the days of Walter Cronkite, where at least you got both sides of the news.
Fair and balanced. Until that got co-opted by Fox.
Now, you either get one or the other. And it's usually unfair and balanced. We just went through a whole presidential election cycle where people lied abysmally.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to go back to, we're going to just cancel Terry Bollea and say that he was a racist, but yet the nigga selling drugs in your community, and they only sell it to really black people, they're not considered racist. I don't see them going out to white communities selling drugs out there.
It was the rapper Special Ed. Oh, go ahead.
You have black boys who can't read on grade level, and their mothers won't read to them or educate them. Is that not racism? Mm-hmm. Because they wouldn't do that to a white boy or a black girl.
Who are the two? What did Kenneth Clark say about who are the most free people in America?
The white man.
Who are the freest people?
You talking about Nora Leo Hurston?
Yeah, sorry. I can't. Come on in. Jump in.
So as far as Hulk Hogan, one thing I'm gonna say is I understand the legacy he has. Particularly, he's not somebody that speaks to me, so I'm not necessarily like a fan. But I will say, is what I.
You came way after his prime.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. What I will say is what I don't like is I do not like this like lack of humanity. You do not have to necessarily give a damn about him dying, but for you to go out of your way, like, but I'm talking about what black people are doing when it comes to Twitter, and people are trying to just garner attention and clout by shitting on him. Yeah, he said some racist shit. I absolutely don't agree with that. But at the same time, you know, Hulk Hogan was not a white supremacist. Hulk Hogan was pretty much a motherfucker that didn't want his daughters. He wanted white grandkids. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And you got motherfuckers really saying shit. It's like if y'all felt this strong, not y'all, but I mean the people's out there saying what they're saying. If y'all felt this strongly about it, y'all should have said this shit while he was alive. Like, it wasn't like he wasn't out here doing shit. But it's this thing where it becomes easier and easier and easier to like shit on people after they're dead. Like, you know, Mark Lamont Hill did that shit with Francis Quest Wilson. But you see that with a lot of people. It's like, you know, it's gonna happen. These will be the same people that'll feel some type of way if white people, which they will, you know, when Bill Cosby dies, they're going to, you know, shit on his legacy and shit like that. And you pretty much, even though he got acquitted of a lot of those charges, but what you low-key do is you give them license to do that because of the shit you're doing. And it's just a lack of foresight when you see these people doing this stupid shit. It's like when you see a lot of the people running their mouth, especially on a younger end, like what you said, Charles. I mean, he was before my time, but a lot of these motherfuckers don't know nothing about nothing. They don't look like when it comes to him. So they don't know the context of anything. They're just sitting here like, oh, this dude was racist, the end. And like even Booker T said that Hulk Hogan did a lot for black wrestlers. You know, I'll say this. You wouldn't say Hulk Hogan was like a ceiling and depressed black wrestlers. And there are black wrestlers that will go out of their way and say he did do a lot. Booker T has no reason to lie about that. So the shit is a lot more contextual than what people want to give it. And it's not, people say, oh, well, I'm going to say something done. Oh, well, you're defending somebody that's racist. I mean, come on, man. These black bitches and you niggas have said plenty of crazy shit. Get the fuck out of here. You got motherfuckers to defend R. Kelly when we know what R. Kelly did, you know, was doing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that story is a lot more contextual too. But I just don't like that slamming the door on motherfuckers. Bell, I forget who it was that died. Was it Bell Hooks? Or it was somebody that, you know, technically when you look at what they did with black people, like the gender war, you know, we should have really trashed them, but we didn't. But, you know, that's my thoughts on it. I just want to throw that in there.
Well, yeah, Edward, they practically doing to Hogan what white people did to O.J. Simpson when he died.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're doing that, but also with the Harlem Heat. Yeah, because when Harlem Heat had their tryout, Hulk Hogan was he kind of had the book, and he said that with Harlem Heat, that's your tag team right there. You need to hire them. That's why when that tape came out, Stevie, because I'm subscribed to both of them, Stevie Ray TV and Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah, Stevie Ray defended him.
Yeah, and they interviewed him and asked context, and they told him, like, we give you your flowers, what you did for us, and we're grateful that because of you, we got the opportunity that we did in WCW, but they held his ass to task on the comments he made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can say, I mean, and the reality is you can do both. Like, the thing about it is what I can't stand about shit like this, like stuff like this, is people want to play tit for tat with OJ Simpson. At the end of the day, OJ Simpson took all that on the chin. It wasn't like OJ Simpson, I'm not saying that he was anti-black or anything like that. OJ Simpson held on to that, and they always do that. They tried to do that with Kyrie Irving and stuff like that. But the reality of the situation is, the real question is, what are all these people running their mouth? What are you going to do to create an ecosystem that actually allows for you to actually be empowered, so it doesn't matter. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like, what are you? And they're not gonna do shit. These are people that just be clout chasing, and they wanna, most of these motherfuckers. But if you really ask them what the fuck did Hulk Hogan actually say, most of them don't. Most of them can't even tell you what he said in the context behind what he said. They don't. They
Right.
just know. Really, a lot of these motherfuckers really don't like Hulk Hogan because he's a Trump supporter. That's like the more recent shit. And he went to the conservative, the convention, and he stood 10 toes down. That's really why a lot of them are mad. And I'm thinking about it.
He's been
And
Trump.
The RNC convention last year.
He's been friends with Trump for 40 years.
Well, it's the same thing with Snoop Dogg. It's the same thing with, if you're Trump, like, honestly, man, these people hate Trump more than state. Like, I really want to ask I'm curious with a black woman, who do you want to know a poll? I want to fucking know, who do you hate more, Donald Trump or Kevin Samuels? I bet you that'd be a hard one. I got to think about that. They probably end up saying Kevin because Trump at the end of the day is a white.
And at this point, some of these niggas hate Trump more than they love God. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, and the thing that I always tell people when I'm talking to people, these conversations come up about Trump. What I always say, especially these older motherfuckers, even dudes, Jesus Christ. I say, you spending all this time in shock about Donald Trump winning a fucking election, and you're not spending time, like, because JD Vance is going to be your next fucking president. You know why? Because all y'all fucking doing is y'all in shock about Trump until the Democrats give you the next motherfucker to vote for that's probably going to lose. Rather than y'all actually being in these primaries trying to drive the conversation. It's like you still can't believe Trump got elected. It's crazy. But going back, my point is the same thing with that, and going back to the damn Hulk Hogan thing. I mean, Malcolm, like, you more worried about Hulk Hogan dying and wanting to slam the door, get him told, which, by the way, y'all didn't have nothing to say while he was alive, versus more than Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne passed away too. Dude from City High passed away. I mean, it's like this thing where it's goofy to me. You going out of what the media did it with OJ. Stop acting like any of them motherfuckers saying that didn't give a fuck about OJ like that anyway. It wasn't like y'all was defending OJ. It was an ongoing joke that everybody said OJ did, even in the black community. It was, anyway. Those are my thoughts.
I'm just gonna say this. The same motherfuckers who want to talk about Hulk Hogan will never talk about their baby daddies.
I don't even get started in that damn T-app bullshit.
Good, bad, ugly.
Hell,
That's
you in the DMV, Charles. Find out Charles in that T-app.
Let me put it to you this way. And Ron scooters.
Yeah, I covered the T-app yesterday.
Okay, I won't read it. I mean, that's kind of a developing story. I'm probably gonna gather up all those videos that I found. I got like 50 videos, 50 little shorts, and I'll probably go through them and do a panel.
So whatever.
I mean, it's great for us because it's a window into the bullshit we've been talking about.
Yeah, my response to that is simple. You dig one ditch, you may as well dig two.
Yeah, you're basically bringing this war to a city near you. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm already seeing a bunch of reports of them lying on dudes on there. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. That makes sense.
Any defamation cases yet?
None officially that I've heard of. They're also saying that chicks are getting unalived over this, but I can't confirm that either.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if in either scenario. As far as this, say what? What was that? Anyway.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, AB.
But as I was saying yesterday, you have to verify. Apparently, the app's for females only, and you have to verify your identity and all that crap.
Yikes!
Yeah,
I mean,
these Negroes have something to say about Hulk Hogan now. They passed away, but they barely said anything when he was alive.
Yeah.
What was it? Last time people saw him, it was like Raw's inaugural episode on Netflix. Remember when he made the appearance? You know, he just got booed.
Yeah, he got booed out of the building.
Booed out of the building with Jimmy Hart waving the flag behind him.
Yeah.
Not to mention he and Eric Bischoff had this promotion that was going on for freestyle wrestling, Real American Freestyle Wrestling. But I guess that's going to be on hold for a while, unless Bischoff's going to run it.
Who knows?
It's supposed to be broadcasting on Fox Sports. That'd be interesting, freestyle wrestling. It's, you know.
Hold on 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Yo, HH, brother. HH.
Get your ass out of here.
Whatever.
No. We got fucking
Troll.
Yeah, Trolls, and there's another one. Banned from.
They're not on my page, are they?
No.
Okay.
Sure.
Get your goofy ass out of here.
Yeah, but that's great. Yeah, but you know, people saying rage baiting for attention, man, all of that, dancing on people's graves. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Because trust and believe, everybody got somebody they care about that's gonna die. So understand, y'all play that game. You know, y'all play that game. Trust and believe.
Karma's a bitch.
I mean, it is what it is. It's a clock that everybody's got to punch, and so, you know, it's just like some people be having like, I'm sorry, people be really thinking they got this justified anger that allows them to do like fuck shit. And I'm like, man, fuck you. Like for real. Like, you know, same people laughing about Hulk Hogan gonna be the same people upset when their welfare getting cut off and them student loans are getting having to be paid. Yeah, y'all go, or same people laughing, talk about niggas ain't shit, or 50-50, the same motherfuckers is gonna need a nigga, and then ain't nobody gonna be home, ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. Yeah, y'all the same ones crying, oh my god. So, you know, and even the goofy dudes that be sitting here, yeah, it's crazy, man, because a lot of these have been unexpected. Well, Ozzy was probably the most expected, but a lot of these are unexpected. Like Michael Jamal Water, you know, he drowned, and then, you know, they said
accidental drowning,
cardiac arrest
at age 71. Apparently, he'd been undergoing like treatment for some type of neck issue, and you know, he just went into cardiac arrest after undergoing some kind of surgery, but he had complications from it as a result. In the case of Osborne, what was that?
No, I was gonna say, believe me, it happened.
You're kind of slurring here, Ed. What are you saying?
I said it happens.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. So Ozzy, it was his time to go at 76. Some people would say it was, it was Hogan's time to go because he died at 71. I mean, Most
Well,
wrestlers of that era, they don't live to see 65.
Well, death comes to us all. I mean,
Mm-hmm. It's just how and the circumstances surrounding it.
well, Ozzy was a known abuser of alcohol and drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So that shit catches up with you. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Shit.
Yeah.
Lemmy from Motorhead was another person. Anybody ever listen to Motorhead?
Yeah, with Triple H's theme song. Yeah.
Triple H's theme song, but a lot of people, and he was a Motorhead fan. In fact, at one time, he sported the facial hair like Lemmy, the Lemmy facial hair. But a lot of people in metal kind of they blasted at Lemmy because of his choice of attire, because he had like iron crosses and whatnot, and they were accusing him of being this, that, and the third, or being a sympathizer, and he was denying it. I mean, you see the symbol for the logo for Motorhead. It has that that SS helmet in it with the horns and such. No, with the spike, I believe it is.
What, on Motorhead?
Yeah, Motorhead. If you ever look at their logo.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. Metal. That's targeted towards white people.
Yeah.
Just like Pantera.
One person who is
extremely racist. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
One person I can mention about that is David Draymond, who is the frontman for Disturbed. He's a small hat, and he's been vocal about his disdain for things like that. He says, if I see somebody in the metal scene rocking that, I'm just going to let them know we're going to have a problem. And this is somebody who has dealt with Yahtzees in his life. He talked about one time he almost got picked on by when he was a teenager. He got picked on by a couple of skinheads, and he was able to beat the holy crap out of them. All he did, they tried to rob him. He broke free, whacked them, and then he took the chain from his bicycle and beat him bloody afterwards. And then he escaped. And then when he got home, his family was shocked with all the blood. It's not mine. He said, "Don't worry, it's not mine."
So basically, he held his own nuts and he took care of his own issues.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He took care of his own issues.
What's his name?
David Draymond.
Well, shout out to David Draymond.
Mm-hmm. In fact, his wife and the mother of his son, she is a former WWE diva.
What was her name?
I forgot her name. She was like a Asian Hawaiian chick. She was there for a short stint. Let me look it up.
Gail Kim?
No, not Gail Kim. Gail Kim is Canadian Korean.
And shout out to Bret Hart for tapping that.
Oh, you tapped Gail Kim?
Well, he's called it.
Oh yeah. Bret Hart don't discriminate. You got him a black wife right now.
Yep.
He's tapping
okay.
And prior to that, he was tapping Gail Kim. Shout out to Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best ever will be. The excellence of execution.
Yes.
He be putting them bitches in the sharpshooter.
Well,
pink and black, baby.
Pink and black.
Bret Hart was my childhood.
One of the best wrestlers I ever met was Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah. Lena Yada is her name. David Draymond's wife's name is Lena Yada. They have a son together. Oh, they were divorced a couple years ago.
He spoke for 2 hours, man. He said the first thing y'all need to do with your police department is get rid of all these damn racists. So we can't.
That's what Bret Hart said?
Yeah, that's what Bret Hart said.
Wait, hold on.
Dun, 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 dun.
See that, Charles?
Mm-hmm. The Hitman.
Mm-hmm.
He was the stuff back in the mid '90s.
Oh, the 80s.
Damn, I'm looking at his current wife. I'm like, damn, shit.
Everybody bad as shit.
Yeah, she looked happy. He doesn't really express himself much, but then again, he's at that generation. They don't say much.
Well, you got to think about where he comes from.
Yeah.
Conservative Canadian.
Canadian on his dad's side, American on his mother. His mother's from New York State. Helen Hart was from New York State.
He has a dual citizenship.
Yep. Another person who has dual citizenship I can think of is Chris Jericho. He's Canadian through his family, but he was born in NYC when his dad was playing for the Rangers. Ted Irvine, the babyface assassin. But you didn't want Stu to put your hand. As far as Bret Hart goes, his father Stu, great guy, but you didn't want him putting his hands on you. That guy liked to stretch people.
Hitman versus Stone Cold. Are you talking about the WrestleMania 13 match?
Yeah, that wasn't a match of the decade. That was the match of the goddamn quarter century.
Yeah.
That was a brutal beatdown.
That was
no holds barred, no disqualification.
You gotta go to Steamboat fucking Flair to the level of shit. Like that match brought in the Attitude Era.
Yes. Oh, you mentioned
actually the match. Okay, go ahead.
You mentioned Stu Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind who said this. Mark Henry said if Stu Hart was young enough to be an MMA fighter, all the MMA fighters would be scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta look at Mark Henry. He's there with JBL. And he's like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm frustrated because I can't tear this quarter in half. And he bent the entire quarter facing each other.
No, that was Big Show. Well, Big Show, sorry. Yeah, with JBL is different. With JBL, it was the one where
yes, locked his bag.
Yeah,
he said I went back. He said I went in the corner.
I mean, it was like Paul White admitted that when he came in, when he went to check, he thought when he saw Mark Henry concentrating, he didn't know he was trying to bend the quarter. He thought Henry was just in a bad mood. Say, hey buddy, you right? And then we realized it was just bent the quarter. It's cool. I feel so inadequate.
I said I feel inadequate as a man.
Given the size, and Paul White.
About how he's bent spoons, moves whole trucks.
He bent the frying pan. What else? He stopped the car from moving.
What was that dumbbell that he lifted? That's hard for people to pick up.
1,000 pounds.
The strong.
No, it's the it's called
the strongman one. The strongman barbell dumbbell. With one hand. I remember Mark Henry was in a documentary about strongman competition. It's called Born Strong, and he gave some insights that were really important.
Yeah, the heaviest thing I ever picked up with one hand was a 115 pound dumbbell.
Dumbbell or barbell? Dumbbell.
Yeah, dumbbell.
That's cool.
I picked up lifted a 100-pound dumbbell. That was long time ago. Long time ago.
Shit. I've never picked up anything that heavy in my life.
That was a paintball compared to
I know
other-
nothing about weightlifting, so I'm gonna shut up.
And
Oh,
shut your
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. You don't know nothing, but Charles, if you don't know nothing about lifting weights, then I know good and well you're rocking dreadlocks.
Oh yeah, they long and flowing too.
Yeah, you know, you Isaac Hayes looking like motherfucker.
I'm like this. Here's my thing. I always look at my friends when they be like, "Yeah, I lifted this much today," and everybody's cheering for them. But I mean, like, if I lift something, y'all don't cheer. They be like, "Well, Charles, you're not a surprise." Everybody's trying to catch up. Okay. They're like, they were like this one kid, came in there. He said I was in the gym, and he said I did right. I was squatting like 370, and he's like, I was squatting like 315, 330, and he was like, yeah, I feel good, and he was trying to be like, so how much you lift? I said, depending on how I feel, that might be my warm up. For squatting, no benching. He said, for squatting, I'm benching. He's like, you start. I said, I've been in weightlifting clubs, but we started at 275 and ended up at 5.
Yeah, buddy. I just realized, I just recalled a name, by the way. Since we're talking about, hold on a second. When we're talking about, because, I was calling you an Isaac Hayes like motherfucker, I just realized 2 names we keep forgetting when it comes to those of us growing up in the 80s and how they influenced us when it comes to black male masculinity. One of them, Carl Weathers. May he rest in peace. Action Jackson. And the other was Richard Roundtree later on in his career.
I'm going to hit you guys later. Thanks for the add-ons, fellas.
Not a problem.
And always, what's it going to do when Folkamania runs wild on you?
What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you?
By the way, I'm going to play the theme song of the Cosby. I'm going to play Iron Man, and I'm playing Real American at the harbor. Oh!
Don't forget Voodoo Child as well.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm about to go.
And the NWA theme.
Yeah, Louis, I'm about to go to bed myself. I'm getting a little tired.
Shit. It's like
we've been on for 2 hours, so that's a pretty good stream.
Yeah, it's cool. It's 4:40 in the morning over here where I'm at. I need to get ready because I got shit to do in the morning. And groceries ain't gonna buy themselves.
Yep.
Or bag themselves.
Peace out.
All right, peace out, man. Louis. Lou, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man.
All right.
I guess we're gonna call this name. I just want to say one important thing, by the way, before I sign out. Recently, I had a conversation with a family member, one of the older relatives in my family, and I'm just glad he's pulling through. He pulled through because he recently underwent successful treatment for male breast cancer.
Okay.
And he's doing great and everything. So with that being said, I just want to say, I'm just glad he's alive. I said, thank you for teaching me for every day. And I like to let everybody know, brothers, we all we got. So we got to protect ourselves, get ourselves checked. No matter what month it is, let's get ourselves checked for everything and try to stay on top of everything in our health wise.
Yeah.
So y'all just, have a good day.
Yeah, keep up on your health, people.
Yeah. You only got one life to live. We've seen a lot of people, you look at some of you don't want to go out like Ronnie Coleman. You want to go out like Lee Haney.
Yeah.
So with that,
Well,
you have a pleasant night, brother. Peace out.
all right. Peace. Well, thank you for watching. Hold on. Thank you everybody for watching. So we are out.